What's good, everybody? I told you that we weren't done. I told you we weren't done. Just getting started. Welcome in to the Coach and Bro Show, the fastest growing show in all of the pro wrestling universe. It's on Stadium every single Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We got a ton to talk about today. And you guys that have made this show what it is, you know that if you want to throw in a super sticker question, you can do that. And we'll get to them at the breaks and when the show is done at the top of the hour. But we got a ton to get to. And this man, I tell you what, I cannot turn on my social media without somebody talking about his company, his creativity, his writing, his connections. I'm telling you right now, the man is on fire. And he's my partner. He's my guy. And a fresh haircut, too. Vinny Ruru, what are we doing?
No haircuts. No haircuts. I'm still working on my Kevin Nash hair. I just got out of the shower, Coach. Just got out of the shower.
Wait. Now you're taking showers for us here at the show? Come on.
Yes. Now I'm taking showers. Yes.
So Vince, I got to tell you before we get started. So I kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit. That we were contacted by a tour manager. That's what I'm calling him. That they want to test the waters taking our show on the road. And so I put it on social media yesterday. Instantly, Vince, I had somebody from Dallas said, hey, make it Dallas. Somebody from Carolina said, make it Raleigh. Somebody from Minnesota said, make it Minneapolis. I'm thinking maybe we might be onto something, Vince, with a little Coach and Bro tour.
Yeah, we may be onto something, Coach, until the reality sets in that we're charging $15,000. We're charging Coach $15,000. That will include a meet and greet. Coach.
And a tour of our small dressing room in the back of the comedy club.
Yes.
It really, really will.
Yes.
All right, that's hilarious. By the way, and we're not doing it till the end of the show, and my dog's scratching right now, by the way, if you guys can't. A little distracted. At the end of the show, Vince, I have something, and I got to hold it till the end of the show because it's going to throw you off so much that you might not be able to continue.
Wow.
Might not be able to continue. It really is.
Cliffhanger,
it really is.
Right there, Coach.
Cliffhanger.
Yes.
Cliffhanger. But also, I've been hearing words that not only can you take it for a second and tell the good people how they can be a part of the show? My dog's literally losing his mind. I got to let him
take care of your show. I'll entertain the good people. Guys, we love you being a part of this show. You are a part of this show. This is the Coach and Bro Show, and you could do that through a super sticker or a donation of $5 or more, and we will pull you right up on the screen. We will discuss your comments, your questions, your opinions. But, Coach, what happens when they go to that next tier?
Oh, they go to that next tier. You guys know whether you're watching on Stadium, YouTube, or whatever, everybody can participate. You can be on the Coach and Bro Let Wheel. We do a free merch giveaway. And this was another little nugget. I was going to save it, Vince, but I can't. Last night, I get a little ding whenever we sell some merch, right? And it's been dinging a lot. But do you know that we had two different people, just ordered Dirt Sheet Dan hats?
Say it isn't so.
Oh, it's so. It's so.
You know what? Good for old Dirt Sheet. Yes. Good for him, bro.
I'm thinking about putting up on the merch, adding a spot for experiences and cooking pasta with Dirt Sheet Dan. What do you think that would go for?
Oh, my God. That's got to go for at least, I'm thinking, between $2 to $3.
We'll give it all to him. That's for damn sure. All right, enough joking around. But if you're new, and I know there's a lot of you that have just found us, this is what the vibe is. If you're coming for us to break down every segment on Dynamite or Raw, wrong show. If you want to laugh, you want to learn, you want to be educated. And by the way, Vince, I'm seeing a lot of new members, premium members in the chat, because I think they have a little FOMO from our watch along on Monday night or Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think so. And it was great, man. I had a good time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Glad I finally got to see that match. And, Coach, one thing, you're talking about a lot of things on the docket.
Yes.
You're talking about Tommy C being ringside, Undertaker and Mick and all that and everything. Coach, once upon a time, at a sold-out Phillips Arena, There was a steel cage match between one Vince Russo and the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Wow.
I mean, not for nothing. In Flair's backyard, Atlanta, Georgia, sold out. Not for nothing, Coach.
Did you get the dub? Vince, yeah. I would love to do that match for a watch along. I really would. But we've got to give them their money's worth. A 3-minute match.
Oh, no, 3 minutes. Coach, you want to know something funny, bro? Seriously?
Yes.
Bro, I was concussed probably within the first 3 minutes, and I knew I was concussed. Coach, I had to climb to the top of the cage and get on top of it, and I was totally concussed out of my mind, Coach. Your boy in his prime, Coach.
I would have been at ringside with you. We would have been a hell of a team back then.
We would have been great. Oh,
hell of a team.
We would have been great. It's not too late. Not too late to coach you, bro. Not too late.
No. We're going to be here at least 20 years. At least 20 years. We're going to have a tour. I even reached out to Chris Van Vliet. He's already doing it. He gave me a few tips. However, if you guys, just to be clear, if you become a premium member at I believe it's the champion level, I believe is what it is. And we have two different levels. The highest level, then you can still go back and watch that watch along with me and Vince. You can watch all of them on demand. What you can't do, what a lot of brands do, they go, you can watch it live with us, but then it's free in 7 days.
Yeah, we don't do that.
We don't do that.
This is exclusive. One and done, Coach.
One and done. So I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat. Become a premium member. It's $7 a month. $7. Come on, you spent that at Starbucks. My daughter, literally, I just saw it come across my phone, spent double that at Starbucks this morning on her way to school.
Ridiculous.
Now, I mentioned the watch along on Tuesday night. It was WrestleMania 18. It was a Rock and Hogan. People forget that afterwards, there was one more match. It was Triple H, and we'll get to him in about 10 minutes. And there was Chris Jericho. And that's where we start. That is topic number one. Because Vince.
And hold on, before you go further, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you don't even realize that what you just said is going to play into what just happened last night. Wait till you see me connect these dots for you, Coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, dot number one. We started in December when all the stories were coming out that he was leaving AEW, hadn't been on TV since last April. And he didn't show up for Netflix, didn't show up for the Royal Rumble, making all these TV appearances. He was on Tracker. He's going to be in another big Netflix show coming up this month. So he's been spending time acting. And then last night, in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, the same city, Vince Russo, where I lost my WWE tag team titles.
Travesty
of justice.
Yes.
Travesty of justice. Who shows up? Who starts the show off? Brand new music, brand new whatever that was. And he had a six-pack. The gut was gone. So, Vince, what do you make of Tony Khan, whatever he did, keeping Jericho in the company at AEW?
Here's where we are going to break this down like nobody else will.
Let's go.
Here, Coach. Three things. There are 3 reasons why Chris Jericho did not go to the WWE, and I'm really going to hit on the third one that's going to tie into the Triple H versus Chris Jericho following Hogan and Rock.
Okay.
Number 1, money. When I say money, what I mean by money is the WWE did not want to pay him. And how many times have Coach and I sat on this show and said, if Chris Jericho was the GM of both SmackDown and Raw, that immediately makes it a better show. Nothing against Pierce, nothing against Nick Aldis. He's a friend of mine. They're not Chris Jericho. So you put Chris Jericho in that role, you are increasing your audience. They didn't want to pay for that. That's number 1. Number 2, the way Jericho is in control of his career and always had been, if there was a plan for Jericho, he would have wanted to hear that creative. And guys, we all know about the WWE creative. And if it wasn't up to par, Jericho was not going to be there, especially if he wasn't going to have a say-so. He wasn't going to be a part of the creative. Number two. Number three, Coach, here's where we're going to kind of dissect this a little bit. And this is where, with all due respect, I mean, outside of you, I don't think this would be spoken about on Busted Open or Meltzer or anywhere else. Guys, you have to understand one thing when it comes to Triple H. And if you don't believe me, we just saw this with one of his best friends of the last 30 years in Brian James. We just saw this. Guys, you have to understand there's two types of talent at the WWE. There's all the talent that went through the NXT system, and they look at Triple H as God Almighty. They jump in his arms after matches. They do the head-to-head That's the newbies. That's the youngins. They look up to this guy like he's their God. Then there's the veterans, bro. And I promise you, the percentage is much higher of the veterans who do not like Triple H. And bro, listen, Coach, I don't know if you know this or not. I gave Triple H his name, the game. Never got a penny for royalties. I
didn't know that.
I gave him the game. And here's why I'm bringing up the game.
Okay.
Because, bro, the veterans know Triple H played the game to get where he is right now. Now, bro, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say, well, Triple H wasn't in love with Stephanie or Triple H. I have no idea, and I don't care. The reality of the situation is the majority of the veterans in that company look at Triple H and they say, brother, you knew exactly what you were doing. You played the game. If you didn't play the game, you would not be in that spot. And what that equates to is they don't respect Triple H. Now, Coach, I'm going to tell you this real quick, and then I want you to go. I don't want to take a lot of time.
No, I want you to take. We got 2 minutes left.
Okay.
We have to take a break. You take it, and I'll respond after the break.
Guys, you got to understand something. I brought Chris Jericho into the WWE. While Chris Jericho was under contract with WCW, me and Jericho were talking on the phone. I brought Jericho in. When I brought Jericho into the WWE, bro, it was like if you were a WCW guy coming in, you had a bullseye on your back. Bro, I work with Kevin Dunn on the entrance and, the way we brought Jericho in. Bro, the last show I ever wrote was at the Meadowlands, and it was going to be The Rock and Chris Jericho, and Jericho was going over. Bro, that was the only thing they changed when I left. And, bro, it took them 2 to 3 more years to get Jericho over, whereas if he would have beaten The Rock that night, he would have been over like that. So, bro, there's a lot of baggage here with Triple H and Chris Jericho, and he's not the only one. I guarantee. We just saw what happened with Triple H and Cena. We just saw that mess. I'm done, Coach.
That was an amazing 5 minutes. That truly was an amazing 5 minutes. I'm taking notes. I kid you not, I'm taking notes. And I would encourage a lot of you to take notes too. We love to use our history and also our wisdom in this space to educate you. Listen to what Vince just said, because even I did not think of any of the 3 things that Vince just brought up. So on the other side, I'll respond to it. We'll continue the conversation. Also, speaking of Triple H, he made an appearance on Monday Night Raw, but he was not the only McMahon Levesque that made an appearance as well. I told you we have a ton to get into, and I see all of these new members because I told you, Vince, they'd have a little FOMO, and we'll explain that as we continue on. It's a great day. It's a great vibe because we're all together. This is the Coach and Bro Show. We are live, as always, on Thursdays, right here on Stadium. All right, you crazy people. We'll continue on our YouTube page during the break. Vince, you see all these new members?
Yeah, I'm seeing the green. They come up in green. As soon as I see the green, I know they're a new member.
Because GTO2990, he asked this, can we rewatch the watch along? I missed it, but will become a member. GTO 1000%. If you are a member and you got I see somebody, Vince, upgraded to, we just have two tiers. But the tier where they can watch all the watch-alongs. And Vince, the next one, just for people, if you haven't joined yet, it's going to be the Hell in a Cell with Big Tommy C.
That's going to be hard to watch too, bro. I have a hard time watching stuff like that, man.
I know. What we're going to do, because I know that you're, I don't like to take up too much of your time, but we're going to have your analysis either on here, right around that time.
No,
you were there.
I mean, stomach-wise, like watching those bumps again, bro, I can't, like, I have a hard time watching stuff like that. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, by the way, Producer Man is putting the link to our premium side in the chat to make it very, very easy for you. Vinny Hip Hop, hey, it's me, Scott. Ginger Dust, GTO, brand new members. Thank you guys. You guys won't regret this because we also do watch-alongs with PLEs, Vince. But this year, I'm going to have to hand it off. Do you know why?
Why is that?
They asked me to go to Vegas they're having a big Pro Wrestling Nation party on Friday, April 17th. I believe that's the same night you have a midnight show for JCW.
Yeah, same night, midnight. Yes. Yep.
So I'm going to miss out on two things. I'm going to miss out on the Busted Open party from 7 to 9, and I'm going to miss out on the JCW show. So I have to do Busted Open after dark for night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania.
Wow. God bless you, Coach.
And I'm going to be on the East Coast, which is going to suck. I'm going to be on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But you know what? There might be more people where I am than are actually in the stadium.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Plenty more to come. We are back live on Coach and Bro Show on Stadium in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is the Coach and Bro Show live on Stadium, Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. I am the coach. My partner, of course, is the Bro Side, and that is Vince Russo. Now, Vinny, we were talking about Chris Jericho and his return last night. Didn't even get into what he did at the show, which really wasn't a lot of anything. But he looked great. He had a six-pack. But you said there are 3 things that you believe are affecting this situation or did affect it. Money, control, and basically him and others not liking Triple H.
Personal, because, Coach, you pointed this out on the watch-along. For those of you that missed the watch-along, Coach pointed this out, that it was Triple H that convinced Vince that the title was more important and the most important thing than Hogan and Rock. Let's break this down, Coach.
Let's do it.
How many times have we talking about the jealousy of Triple H towards Rock?
A lot. But I don't think people believe me. I keep giving examples.
I was there, guys. I was there in the early years. So with that being said, why does Triple H want to go on last in the main event? Because he's trying to cock block Rock from being in the main event. Meanwhile, who's Triple H in the main event with?
Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho, the veteran that he is, I promise you, knew and understand, no how, no way are we ever going to follow that. So, guys, you got to understand, when me and Coach talk, bro, we're talking about stuff, Coach, that goes back 10, 20, 25 years, man.
This is why when we talk to fans right now who are watching at this moment, and you say, where has Rock been? And I say, not one social media post in the last year and a half, probably. Certainly since Chamber of last year. So think about why. We're going back 24 years. And at the end of that watch-along, Vince, when Hogan, they were doing the whole in the ring, if you're not the main event, guys, then you normally celebrate and you get out because there's another match coming after you. Vince, not only did they not do that, he brought him back in twice to do the Hogan stuff. And I believe to this day that he was doing it because of that particular point.
Well, to add to that, Coach, if you are not the main event and you did what those guys did, you're blatantly disrespecting the main event.
There you
And
go.
you're going to have heat with the boys, Coach. You're
time.
going to have, bro, if that's Austin, if Austin's in the main event, he's on the other side of that curtain waiting for you to come through. Like,
Yes.
I mean, guys, you don't do that. You don't do that. The main event is the main event. Rock knew exactly what he was doing, and that's because of his hatred with Triple H. And what added to that? Triple H had to be the main event because he blocked Rock from being in the main event.
And that was the first year that this happened. Of all years, of all matches, for that to happen, that was the first year. And what's crazy, Vince, is I don't think a lot of people, because they love to look at headlines, instead of listening to us and kind of break down as to the why. Because a lot of people will say, well, it's been 24 years since that happened, guys. Haven't they gotten over it? It's been so long. Gotten over it. Vince, I was sitting at a dinner in Toronto, the same city as WrestleMania 18. Why was I sitting there in a closed restaurant with 10 people at a table at 11 o'clock at night? Because we had just had the opening for Triple H's lone movie ever that he starred in, Blade 3. And they had it in Canada because Carl DeMarco, a guy that I still talk to this day, he set it up. Yep. He set it up. And I'll never forget, Vince, this is hilarious. So I go to LaGuardia to get on the plane. Too much wind. They canceled my flight. I'm thinking, oh, thank God. Thank God. I'm back in the limo all by myself, back on 95. I get a call. Hey, Coach, good news. Stephanie's limo is heading to White Plains. You can jump on the jet. We used to call it the jet. And I was like, oh, God. Most people be like, man, you get to fly on a private jet. It's not as great once you do it 100 times. So I pull off, Vince, get in her car. Imagine riding me and her one-on-one in a limo for about 10 minutes. How awkward was that?
Yeah.
Right? And she starts talking about Paul. She calls him Paul. And so we get on the plane, and it is Vince McMahon, his wife, Linda. Shane went against all of his better wishes. Shane's wife, who was just up for an Oscar, by the way. And then Linda and myself. So imagine, that's the 6 on this plane. We're going to Toronto. We land about 10 minutes later. I'm like, are we in Toronto already? No. We're picking up his parents in New Hampshire. And Vince, his parents are the salt of the earth. His parents are 2 of the nicest people you'll ever meet. I adore his parents. And they get on, and Vince, I kid you not, this happened. His mother, who at the time was in her 70s, probably 80s now, hopefully she's still alive. And she looks at Stephanie and goes, Stephanie, you didn't need to send a car for us. Stephanie goes, if you're going to have a movie star son,
of course,
then you need to be treated like movie star parents.
Yes, exactly.
And his mother says, but sweetheart, we just live right there. You could see their house from the airport.
Yes. Coach, can we give them a little bit more insight of what they never hear on any of the shows?
1,000%.
Guys, let me explain something to you. 1999, 27. Okay, 27 years ago, when I left the WWE, Jim Cornette left a voicemail on my answering machine that my 3 little children happened to listen to at the time, talking about how he was going to kill me. Okay, here's my point, guys. That was 27 years ago. 27 years later, Jim Cornette hates me more today than he did back then. So let me explain what Coach just said, and Coach will verify this. Guys, we're regular people. Okay, we may get mad at people. We may carry on grudges, but you get over it, Coach. You have a conversation. You're adults. In wrestling, guys, these feuds go on for years for one very important reason. These guys are independent contractors. So what the beef is they always believe that you cost them money. They always believe that you hurt their career. When Vince McMahon replaced, it was me and Cornette on the booking committee. When Vince McMahon sent Jim Cornette home, Jim Cornette didn't look in the mirror That was Vince Russo calling him money, guys. That's what it's all about with these independent contractors. It's about the money, Coach, and the spot. And that's why they never forget. These are not average people feuds, Coach. Am I right or am I wrong?
It's also paranoia. It's
Yeah.
also a lot of paranoia. You are 1,000% right. And what I just described feeds right into that theory. Maybe not in wrestling at that time, but to Triple H, he wanted to be like The Rock, whether he wants to admit it or not. Because we had a dinner, Vince, after the premiere where, and I'm not going to give it away because you know what all she said, but she made a toast. And the line that she toasted right before the toast said, "Here's to the first major motion picture, the first of many." That was a quote from Stephanie at the dinner. It was a nice toast, but it told me everything that I needed to know. So at that point, when Rock was getting Scorpion King and then getting the 4-picture $80 million deal with Disney, all of that was happening in 2002 and 2003. And Triple H wanted the same damn thing.
Yep.
And then when Cena started getting it, it reared its ugly head again. So I still believe, and this may be way down a rabbit hole, Vince, but because of those two things, have we not talked about how crappy the John Cena retirement tour was all in 2025?
Well, Coach, again, I wasn't there, but I would always hear that there was that Triple H did not like Batista. I would always hear that. Well, what does Batista have in common with John Cena and The Rock?
He's probably bigger than they are now,
right? That's
in Hollywood.
This ain't all coincidental, guys. I mean, everything the coach is laying down, there are patterns. Guys, just follow the pattern, man.
That's it. We're just laying out. And the greatest part about this show, and I mean, Vince, we're popping right now. There's so many questions because the one thing about us is that we were there. We don't tell stories about stuff that we weren't there for.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm telling you, and the reason we tell these stories, A, they're entertaining as hell, but in 2026, this is what we're dealing with. They just brought John Cena back for WrestleMania to host 4 months after he retired, when normally, Vince, you go away for a while, and then in a year or two, you go, hey, we've missed John Cena. Let's bring him back. They're doing it 4 months later. Do you know how much Triple H didn't want to make that call? Do you know how much Triple H right now is feeling the pressure? And is it a coincidence, and we're going to talk about it in the next segment, that he showed up on Raw this past week? And then, Vince, I don't know if you saw the interview he did for one of these podcasts where he said it's very awkward. Did you, producer man, I need you to look this up. I need the quote, please. Or Mikey. He basically said it's awkward when people focus on him as a former talent because it's all about the boys now.
Oh, my God. See, it's stuff like that just makes you want to throw up in your own mouth, bro. You got a roster of 90,000 guys, and you're on the cover of the video game, and you're going to hit me with that. And you're going to give the guy at ESPN a freaking sledgehammer, and you're going to make comments like that. Come on. I hate when people think we're stupid. That's right.
I know.
I hate when people think we're stupid, man.
I know. It's absolutely bananas. But the beautiful part is, and this is what I've loved, is you see the chat, you see the people, they're becoming smarter. I think we're changing the narrative a little bit, Vince, on social media, because 6 months ago, it was always you're idiot, you're idiot, you're idiot, you're idiot. And now it's like, oh shit, they're making some sense. Yeah. And we're not here just to pat ourselves on the back. We're here to explain things so you guys understand that when you read these stupid headlines or you go to some dirt sheet that you love to read and you're like, oh, that's not what, oh, they were right 6 months later.
Yep.
That's what it's all about because we love this business. You guys are obsessed with it. That's why you watch the show. We're obsessed with it in a different way.
Yeah.
In a different way. All right, coming up on the other side. The other thing I love, Vince, about this show is you never know where the discussion is going to go. You never know where it's going to go. All right, coming up on the other side, not only did Triple H show up on Raw this past Monday night, but so did Stephanie McMahon. What did Vince think about it? We're going to talk about it next. This is the Coach and Bro Show live on the Stadium Network. All right, we got a ton of super stickers, Vince, to get to. My man R. Sutton 2 spots on the wheel today. He says, I'm donating 20 hard-earned dollars because I got to hear for myself live on the Coach and Bro Show that Vince puts over my driving range golf course setup in my garage.
Oh, yeah, that's my good friend Ross. Bro, I just made it. Me and Ross, right before the show, we just made a fantasy baseball trade. Right before the show. And, bro, yeah, he's got a driving range in his freaking house, Coach. That's unbelievable.
Vince, I don't know if you've ever sounded uncooler than right at that moment when you said you made a fantasy baseball trade right before the show.
I was willing and dealing, man. I was watching. I got to get to Coach, and I was willing and dealing. Yes, like Steinbrenner.
If you ever show up late to this show because you're making a fantasy baseball draft,
that could happen.
Oh, that could happen. At least we know where you're going to be. Yes. At least we know where you're going to be. Yes. R. Sutton, thank you for the support. That really, really means a lot. Yes. Hey, 10001 says, would Seth Rollins have been a star in WCW with his outfits and his entrance?
Bro, I got to tell you something. Seth Rollins, listen, man, nobody's gonna be nobody's gonna be afraid of anybody with a nasally voice like that. Okay, bro, it's that simple. Nobody's gonna be afraid of a guy that talks like this, and nobody's gonna be afraid of this guy. Bro, think about if Randy Savage with all his costumes and his outfits. Think about if Savage went out there and said, "Well, Mean Gene, to tell you that, bro." Nobody's gonna be afraid of Seth Rollins with nasal decongestion, bro. Come on.
I don't even know how. I think he's 40 now. And we never talk about retirement with these guys because most wrestlers retire 8,000 times. But I'm wondering how long he's going to go because his outside career is going pretty good. Now, I don't know if he could be a full-time sportscaster because it's a little bit harder than people think. I was at ESPN for 11 years. But to come on and talk football a little bit, okay. To do it every single day?
Yeah, Coach, come on. Yeah, that's not anybody can do that, man.
Yeah, you got to be much bigger than a Bears fan.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but he may. He may.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot more to get into. GTO says, hit the join. Thank you. Hit that join button. Become a member. Grow that community. All right, we're back live in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We are just past the bottom of the hour. If you're watching us live, thank you very much. It's 11:32 in the East. It is about 8:32 out here in the West. We continue our conversation here on the Coach and Bro Show. Do not forget, anybody watching on YouTube, hit that like button on the way in. If you're watching on Stadium, we love you just as much. All right, Vince, we talked a lot about Chris Jericho coming back. There wasn't much to talk about as far as his appearance. He just said a few words, but he looked awesome. But the bigger story, as we tie in Triple H to this, is Monday night, it almost felt like, and I'm not being overhyped here, that when you looked at the show, it felt bigger than WrestleMania card at that point. And then they end up making 5 or 6 matches. They're up to 12 now. But out comes Cody Rhodes, who's not on Raw, usually ever. So they're making that choice now. And then here comes Stephanie McMahon, and I think shocked everybody because she has not been on the show as a character in I don't know how long, Vince. And I saw yesterday a post from you, and I want you to tell the people at home where they made a mistake and why details matter when you're writing a promo like that.
Yeah, because this was the promo, and because I saw the clip and Cody says, I am not my father and neither are you yours. Mm-hmm. At that point in time, Stephanie slapped Cody. And I'm watching the show and I'm like, that's an insult, Stephanie? For Cody to say you're not your father, that's an insult? Do you have 50 NDAs that we don't know about? The line should have been Stephanie saying, you're damn right I'm not, and thank God for that.
Boom.
That should have been that. You know what the problem is, Coach? They don't know how to get people talking. If Stephanie McMahon delivers that line, true or false, that's what, oh my God, did you hear what Stephanie? That's what they're gonna, but she was insulted because Cody said you're not your dad. Who would want to be Vince McMahon with the spot he's in right now? Who? Your own family wouldn't want to be you in the spot you're in right now.
I would probably argue against that a little bit, Vince. There's a lot of people out there struggling. They'll say, I'll take the $6 billion and walk away.
Yeah.
I'll take the $6 billion and walk away.
Yeah, man.
But your point is well taken.
Yeah.
That the scrutiny and all that kind of stuff. And I instantly remembered back because she became a character when she started dating Triple H, when they were in that storyline and they were spending a lot of time together. And he was still with China at the time. So I remember how much I hated her character on TV. And they just had to give her a compliment. The McMahons have this it factor about them. And when she plays into that, I feel like it was a smart play from this. I agree with you on the promo. But we're always talking, how can we get attention and get to the show? Because they should have had WrestleMania in March. This has been way too long in between the Rumble. But they're trying to figure out, how can we do things, Vince, without always having a brawl, a scrum, which has become every single week. And I thought that was kind of a creative way to do it and bring Vince back into the conversation without Vince being there.
Coach, I don't think that's why they did it at all.
Tell me why.
I don't think that's what they did it to sell tickets for WrestleMania. That's why they did it. They are looking at the tickets that are still on sale. And what do? Here comes Triple H. Here comes Stephanie. And John Cena is going to be at WrestleMania. That's what they did. Now, first of all, here's the bottom line. I don't know how you do the math where if I'm seeing Cody and Stephanie McMahon and I haven't bought a ticket to WrestleMania, why is this going to make me? Is Cody wrestling Stephanie McMahon? This certainly is not going to make me buy a ticket. Is Triple H wrestling Brock? Is it a three-way? That's not going to make me buy a ticket. Here's the problem, Coach. And what do, you and me? We always give them the benefit of the doubt.
Always.
So, guys, you haven't sold you haven't sold out. And you're very surprised and you can't understand. So now we're going to pull out all the stops. Here's my question, Coach. Are they going to look at this and say, okay, what's the real reason why we didn't sell? And then make the adjustment on ticket prices for the next big show. That's what I want to see.
It's got to be drastic. It's got to be drastic.
Yeah.
I'm trying this new thing on social media where, like, for 20 minutes or so every day, if I have a little bit of downtime, I'll interact, I'll answer some questions. And we had a couple people yesterday. They're still stuck, Vince, on the, well, guys, they're not as bad as, it's the highest grossing ever. And so finally I had to lay it down yesterday. And I said, guys, they're not even over 40,000. Both nights are at 38,000. And when was the last time, Vince, that because I know I just did it with my own family. My daughter graduates in a year. She has the lead in the musical 9 to 5 in 2 weeks. When did I start booking my stuff for my family to come out here? 11 of them 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
And right now, if you're sitting there, and this is where, to me, I can't figure this out. It's literally reeks of desperosity.
Yep.
That you didn't know you wanted John Cena, and you're admitting to all of us, by making him the host now, you're admitting to us we're scrambling. Yeah. Because the host shouldn't matter at all for selling tickets. At all. It's only happened a few times. New Day did it, But you approach him in January if you want to sell tickets.
Yep.
Not at the end of March. We're April 2nd now. 2 weeks from Saturday is WrestleMania. And Vince, it might draw interest online, is not getting people to put their credit card down.
Absolutely. Now, like I said, man, I know why they did it, but Triple H getting between Boba Fett and Lesnar and Stephanie slapping Cody. Why am I buying a ticket to WrestleMania based on those two? What do either one of those two things have to do with WrestleMania?
I think it's a miscalculation. I also think this, and I've said this before on this show, it's not the first time, that Triple H, and this is where I'll defend him a little bit. Because, Vince, when you get to be 55 or 60 and you're in a spot that you love to be in, and let's make no mistake about it, this is what he dreamed about. This is his dream job outside of Hollywood. And, Vince, he doesn't want to lose this dream job. So he doesn't want to do what I'm saying he should do. And that is to walk into a room with all of these multi-gazillionaires and say, guys, this is wrong. To your point, Vince, guys, we have to, and I mean, the day after, come out on Monday Night Raw and say, guys, we made a mistake.
Yep.
We screwed up.
Yep.
Because right now, the only thing they're ordering are the black drapes to go on the upper deck at Allegiant Stadium, because right now they're at $38,000 for both nights. Last year at this time, Vince, they were a little bit over 50.
Yeah.
For both nights.
Coach,
at this point.
You know what's interesting? We kicked off the Attitude Era, and everybody will remember this. When Vince, it was just Vince in a studio talking about how the old product had sucked. You guys remember that? You can look it up. And he talked about the Attitude Era and where we were going to go. And we followed up on that. Triple H in a studio saying, you know what, man, I'm not going to lie to you. We were all disappointed we didn't sell out WrestleMania. And we had to look ourselves in the mirror. Why didn't we sell it out? And then give that promo, bro, all of a sudden now you won back every fan, and now every fan is saying, you know what, bro, everybody makes mistakes. You guys got a little greedy. Now you're going to make things right by us. Beautiful.
It's as easy as that, literally. And these are smart people. They really are, even though but you walk into a room and you say, guys, let's play the long game. But the problem is, we also know the other side of it is that they're not looking at the long game because they won't own this company in 2 years.
Yeah.
But that's what needs to happen. And guys that are watching right now, and ladies, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Wrestling fans are so loyal. They will forgive in an instant, in a heartbeat, but you got to own it. And Vince, I don't know how this isn't the plan of action based off of what we're seeing. If you're sitting in a room right now with Ed and Michael and Bruce, and you're saying, guys, we've thrown everything at the wall, every match we have, every star that we have that potentially could sell tickets, and they have not moved at all in 3 weeks.
Because, Coach, you know the wrestling business and you know business. I mean, my God, Coach, you worked for ESPN. You know big business. Here's what's going on. Everybody's pointing the finger at everybody else.
Everybody else.
Nobody is owning it. Nobody is taking the responsibility. Everybody's going to be pointing the finger at everybody else.
Yeah, it's going to be Roman. Oh, 11 main events. Nobody wanted to see it. Yeah. CM Punk. Oh, he's too old. Cody hasn't lost in 4 years. He's been in the main event 4 straight years. Then you got Randy Orton. Oh, he's been around for. You can make up a reason for everything.
Yep.
Instead of the reason that actually exists.
Yep.
All right, Vince, I got the quote. From Triple H. And they do this thing called a TKO spotlight. So the company is doing a spotlight on him. Okay? Why not the main event at WrestleMania? I don't know. Here's his quote. When you're a WWE superstar, your focus is singularly on you. When you switch to being an executive, it's about everybody else. Your job goes from being singularly focused to this wide net of everything that you have in front of you. And it's dealing with people. But it's a lot easier to deal with them when you get to slam them than it is when you can't slam them and just have to talk to them.
Yeah.
End quote.
The problem is this. He hasn't made the transition over to executive. He will never make the transition over to executive because once you're one of the boys, you will always be one of the boys. I've seen this in the wrestling business a million times over. This isn't a Triple H thing. If you are one of the boys and you had a career as a wrestler and all of a sudden you're in management, you're still one of the boys. I've seen this with Jeff Jarrett. I've seen this with Dusty. I've seen Kevin Nash sit in on creative meetings. I can go on and on and on and on. The thing is, Coach, as a talent, you're so wired to just think about yourself. You're not thinking about other people. That doesn't change.
I was there day one when he walked into the production meeting. Plenty more on this coming up. Also, coming up on the other side, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, Madison Square Garden, biggest matches. We've got a couple of different things to hit on before the end of the show. And on YouTube, we continue on at the top of the hour. This is the Coach and Bro Show live on Stadium. All right, you crazy cats. We got plenty more super stickers. Keep them coming. We want all of them. GTO, you're a new member. You can go back and watch the watch along from Tuesday. All right, K underscore says, hello, Coach. Mr. Russo, I sent a watch along suggestion through the Patreon, through DM. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to post in the war room. Producer man, let me know, and I'll give them what's the best way to send in ideas to make sure we'll get them, because we'll take your suggestions. Oh, yeah, we got it. Producer man says we got it. Thank you, K underscore, very, very much. Danable, you got a spot on the wheel. The one thing WWE got right this year is the theme song. My opinion, the last few WrestleMania themes have been horrible. You can't go wrong with Aerosmith. I wish they got Aerosmith to perform. Man, Vince, I used to love it when we had Kid Rock, Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
But those were amazing manias.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I was there. Limp Bizkit was like 5 feet tall.
Yeah,
I'll never forget.
Yeah.
He's like 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Jay Karnick, spot on the wheel. Vince, what is your Mount Rushmore of San Francisco Giants players? Also, be nicer to Big Vito. He's your JCW star until I show up.
Yeah. Mays, McCovey, Clark, and Posey.
Mays, McCovey, Will Clark.
Oh, I named my son after Will Clark, for crying out loud.
And who's the last one?
Buster Posey. Come on.
Oh, Buster Posey. I don't know that I've ever seen a player quicker go from player to executive in my life.
Guys, and let me tell you, if you watch Buster Posey now as an executive, it is not the same as Triple H. I could tell you that right now, bro. I could tell you that right now.
Is he the Triple H of baseball?
No, bro. He's the executive. You're not going to see his face on the freaking program, bro. I promise you.
I don't know why every time we say it, people are so shocked, or that it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It's like I want to be in these meetings and be like, guys, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. We've got 50 wrestlers that need to be promoted.
Yes.
50.
Yes.
Why are we doing that yet again? All right, we're back live on the Stadium Network. Say it with me now in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is the Coach and Bro Show live here on Stadium, on YouTube, on social media. We'll get to all of the super stickers at the top of the hour. But Vince, interesting interview. We talked a lot about Triple H and Stephanie showing up on Monday Night Raw.
Can I throw one more thing out there? One more thing real quick, guys. I'm sorry. Guys, I told you guys, okay? They're in we got to sell WrestleMania tickets mode. So let's dust off Stephanie. Let's dust off Triple H. Let's bring them out. The only problem with that is Stephanie and Triple H are not a part of freaking WrestleMania. That's the problem. Coach, I know for a fact, okay? You want to make WrestleMania interesting? I know for a fact Kurt Angle called himself and pitched ideas for the John Cena retirement. Kurt wanted to be a part of that, okay? So here we have the scene in the middle of the ring. We got Boba Fett. We got Brock Lesnar. We got Triple H getting his beak in the middle of them to make sure he's on camera. Bro, if you want to sell WrestleMania tickets, then it's Triple H saying, I knew this was going to be I knew this was going to happen, Mo. I knew you two would not be able to be contained in a ring. Special guest referee at WrestleMania. Bring out Kurt freaking Angle. Hello? You know why they don't do that, bro? Because he probably has some kind of a problem with Kurt. That's why they don't do that. You want to sell tickets to WrestleMania, then beef up WrestleMania. I just give myself.
It would be no.
Headache. I got a headache now, Coach. I got a headache now.
Well, at least the hair looks good. The hair looks really good today.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. To use big stars in creative ways is 101. It's 101. And to use Kurt Angle. But I remember he actually was at that John Cena last night. You remember? They showed that shot, that just ridiculously weak shot of like 8 talent over, at ringside. I think there was Mark Henry was there. A couple of girls were there. And then Kurt Angle was just standing there kind of looking around. And I'm like, how disrespectful. Yeah, how disrespectful. So then we come to find out, Vince, that Drew McIntyre, who I'm still trying to figure out what Triple H has against him, because he's been getting what we call faded in the sports world for the last couple of years. Everything big happens, he loses. And it happened again. It happened again. Randy Orton wins the chamber. Cody's in the chamber match, doesn't win, but who's the champion heading into WrestleMania? It ain't Drew.
Yep.
Well, Drew just did an interview on a podcast because we had found out that one of the suggestions was Cena Drew, and that nobody wanted it. So they pivoted to Cena AJ. I think that took place in Australia. He did an interview, and Vince, apparently there was way more that was supposed to happen in that feud than just a one-on-one match. What do you think happened then that Drew McIntyre wasn't big enough to be a part of that tour, which was very mundane at the time?
I'll tell you exactly what happened. He just announced that he got the role in Highlander. That's what just happened, Coach.
You think so?
You're going to the end of the line now. Absolutely. Bro, who knows? The level of jealousy, guys, and pettiness in professional wrestling that really comes back at the end of the day to hurt the product is pathetic, bro. It's pathetic.
Especially when, Vince, the stuff's not working. That we would look like idiots if we said all this stuff and it was working. But the only answer that fans have that they go back to, the lazy narrative, instead of reading headlines, actually do the work or watch us, is, well, guys, it's the highest growing ever. So I told somebody yesterday, I said, when was the last time you heard Michael Cole say sold out? Yeah. And there is value in sold out. But all fans look at, Vince, is, well, they're going to make $300,000 less, or whatever the number is. The value in sold out is there is an urgency to get those tickets. And when you're doing 100, 200 shows, that could be magnified and multiplied. Can you imagine if Taylor Swift didn't sell out day one, day two?
Yeah.
Would there be that urgency? Would she be that big of a star? No.
Well, they would certainly know, and she would certainly know there's a problem. What is the problem? Let's fix the problem. That's what they need to do. Yes.
1,000%. Yeah. Here's a quote from Drew McIntyre in that podcast that he was on. There was another match prior to that involving more than I was supposed to give away all the details, like John out there. But yeah, there was a plan for something else, and then something changed. And then we had another pitch, and we ended up with the AJ match. So it's like 3 or 4 things kept changing. Vince, this was in the fall. This was not at the beginning of it.
And, Coach, why are things changing and changing and changing and changing? Because I just finished writing 3 shows, back to back to back, 3 shows in 3 days. What do I always tell you guys? If you've got well-defined characters, the shows are going to write themselves. It's that simple. They are so far from that, where they're constantly changing. That just tells you the root of the problem is the creative.
Vince, I have a little bit of can I have the sounder, please? I have a little bit more conspiracy theory.
Oh my God, hold on. I gotta get back to that on my board. Here we go.
Gotta have it. So let's not forget, a couple of years ago, contract coming up for Drew McIntyre, sitting at one of those restaurants in Las Vegas, and who presents him a sword at dinner? That came from one man and one man only. Do you remember, Vince?
I never saw this. I'm watching.
Seen this?
I've never seen this. No, I have not.
This is how they told Drew that he had a new 5-year deal. Who delivered the message with the sword? I'll give you one guess.
Well, according to Triple H, it had to be one of the boys. It had to be one of the boys, according to Triple H.
No.
No.
Vince, who have we been talking about the entire hour? Who is on the board of directors? Who also has Drew McIntyre as a part of Rock's merch promotions, where he has, whether at Under Armour or all the other stuff, he's signed to Rock's company. It's The Rock. And you don't think that on some level, and again, there's a lot more. Your quote was, there's a lot more here than just conspiracy or just coincidence. Vince, we've given 8 or 9 reasons in 60 minutes.
And what do we always talk about? Logic. We talk about logic.
Logic. Yeah. boy, it's, and I hope that we're wrong. I really hope, but we're just laying out the facts.
Yeah.
We're just telling you. Thank you, Aaron, another premium member. It's crazy to me, Vince, how everything comes back to this. Comes back to Rock and comes back to Triple H. Because understand this, even to this point, Vince, Rock has said nothing about WrestleMania. And remember last year at the Chamber when they did the whole Cena turns heel thing, and all of a sudden we find out 2 days after WrestleMania when Rock says, oh, no, I was never supposed to be a part of that. I was just there to what? Sell tickets. So if you're trying to sell the Chamber with The Rock, then why wouldn't you, Vince, try to sell Mania with The Rock?
There isn't a stronger card in your back pocket, not even close. So it is clear he chooses not to do it. It is that, just like Austin. Well, guys, why do you think Austin's never there? Bro, I'm going to go back to the eye roll, Coach. I'm going to go back. Remember the eye roll when Triple H gave himself the grand entrance and Bret and Austin did the old eye roll? Why do you think Austin's not plugged into all of this, bro?
So 2 years ago, we only got a minute left, but we'll continue on YouTube. So remember, Vince, that Stone Cold is booked in Vegas on WrestleMania week. He's booked $750 to take a picture with him. That's insanity. But if he's going to be there, Vince, and we're trying to sell tickets, why has he not been at least, hey, we'll pay you $1 million? Because you've been educating us for so long. They already have the money. And if you pay Austin $1 million, that's $1 million that comes off, not $1 million that's invested in their minds.
Bro, can you imagine? Can you imagine? You got Boba Fett in there. You got Brock Lesnar up there. It's freaking.
Hold that thought.
Okay, good.
We only got 30 seconds. All right, we're going to continue on our YouTube page. For those watching on Stadium, come on over to our YouTube page because we never stop. We've got plenty more to get to, but right here, we'll see you next week live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on the Stadium Network. We love it. And look, you can't even contain us inside of 60 minutes. Vince, Mikey, producer man, I am the coach. This has been the Coach and Bro Show. We'll see you next week right here on Stadium. All right, we continue on here on our YouTube page. Get to all the super stickers. But, Vince, you were saying.
Bro, I was just going to say, you want to sell tickets to WrestleMania? Okay, we got Boba Fett. We got Brock Lesnar, okay? Instead of Cyrano Divergiac, whatever his name is, coming out there. Coach, can you imagine if those two guys are nose to nose and you break that glass?
Oh, my God. And make him the guest referee or something.
Oh, yeah, oh my God. You think you guys are badasses?
I was the baddest of the baddest.
Oh, but my point is, here's what we're trying to tell you guys. A lot of this shit doesn't happen because of the personal relationships. They can't get out of their own way. They can't put this stuff aside. You want to sell tickets to Mania, that's how you do it. Steve, what is it going to cost us? What is it going to cost us for you to do this? And you pay him, bro. Now you're going to sell out 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Do you know why they should look at it in a completely different way? Because they can't stand here and lie to us anymore because of the moves that they're making. Vince, let's say they sell 50,000. Let's keep it a round number. 50,000 last year was 63. So that's, let's say it's $1,000 a ticket. Let's say 1,000 times 13,000, okay? Just to keep it round. That is $13 million that they're not making this year, if that's the number that they made last year. Times it by 2. So they're going to be down at the gate. And this is just using a $1,000 ticket, which we know is very low. $26 million. So, Vince, they're looking at it going, oh, no, we can't spend that. But they're going to lose over $20 million simply in ticket sales.
That's such a great point. Listen, Coach, it's been very, very negative as it pertains to the WWE on today's show. Yes. We need something uplifting. Can I throw something in there?
I would love, and because our next super sticker is not that. So
okay, let's be quiet, please.
Oh no.
This is what we envisioned in January, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's happening here in September. gonna go on forever.
Forever.
Coach, if you want to sell the remaining tickets, do you not bring Shad into a room with all the executives and all the decision makers and not let him cut that promo?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel like, and this is not because everybody's watching the show. You saw our interaction this week with Tony Khan, and we have been very consistent. If you watch the show, you understand that. And for whatever reason, I feel like he's starting to move a little bit differently. And I want to take a little bit of credit for that, Vince, because we've always said we love Tony, but we just call it like we see it sometimes. But it's good and it's bad, but we call it like we see it. And I think he's getting some people around him. They're like, hey, Tony, you got to play in the sandbox, which I love. And I can't wait till we have a sit down with him because I think it's going to be a lot different than what people think, Vince.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what, Coach? We don't know. It may be a situation now where, there was just the merger with Paramount and WBD. There was just the merger.
Yep.
Hey, Coach, you don't know. They may have looked at the shows and looked at the numbers, and they may have said, hey, Tony, we got to be doing X amount of views by such and such a date. You know what I'm saying? Because there's new eyes looking at it now. And if just say hypothetically that's the case, well, Tony knows I got to do something differently. Same thing. You would think the same thing with not being able to sell the WrestleMania tickets. Bro, we got to do something differently.
I can't get past that. And I know, I'm sure to some, they're like, it's very redundant. But I was taught when I started radio by Colin Cowherd, the great Colin Cowherd, play the hits. And for every 2%, they're like, oh, they're talking about. This is what everybody's talking about because this is the thing we love the most in wrestling. And this is why fans are frustrated. So if you walk into a room, Vince, I always try to picture myself. I'll sit in bed at night and I'll picture, I'm like, you walk in, you're looking at the numbers, and you don't immediately admit to yourself in the entire room, we fucked up. That should be the first thing in a meeting right now and just say, okay, for the next 2 weeks, there's nothing we can do about tickets. Let's stop with tickets. And let's start with storylines and then figure out on Monday night, April 19th, truly, don't just say it again, truly make it a new day in the WWE.
Coach, you want to hear something real funny? Because we're on YouTube right now, so I know we're not in the time crunch or anything, but this is what it reminded. I saw the greatest thing I saw in a long time in baseball yesterday, okay? Matt Chapman is a Gold Glove third baseman for the Giants. Gold Glove, bro. What a glove. They've got Casey Schmidt playing first base by default. He's really not a first baseman. He's like a utility player, right? Bro, early in the game yesterday, Chapman makes 2 throws over to Casey Schmidt. Bro, he missed them like a little leaguer. He looked like a little leaguer. So, Coach, there's a pitching, there's a meeting at the mound with the pitcher and everything. Freaking Chapman walks up this way. Casey walks up this way, and Chapman's face is to the camera, and Chapman says to Casey Schmidt, this is what needs to be done in the WWE. He looks at Casey Schmidt, everybody's seeing him, and he says this twice, Coach. You ready?
Yes.
Catch the effing, he didn't say effing, catch the effing ball. Catch the effing ball. That's what we need here, bro. Stop with excuses. Stop with the BS. Catch the effing ball, Coach.
Nobody wants to hear it anymore. The fans, and Vince, I can distinctly remember you saying, until Coach, they stop buying tickets.
Yes.
This will not change.
We both kept saying that.
Yeah.
We both kept saying that.
But I didn't think we'd get here now.
Yeah, let's see what they do with the next big. That's how we're going to know, Coach. That's how we're going to know. If they lower prices, they make an adjustment based on this, then okay then. If it's business as usual and they run into the same problem, come on, guys.
I will have no sympathy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start looking at tickets from April 19th on to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right, plenty of super stickers to get to. Varsity VA. And remember, if you're new, a $10 super sticker or bigger, you don't have to limit yourself to that. You can show your appreciation. But we have a thing called the Coach and Brolette Wheel where we give back to you. We bust it out at the end of the show for anybody $10 or above. Varsity VA, where are the storylines for WrestleMania? Gunther just comes out and puts Seth to sleep. Now they have a match. That's been the latest complaint, Vince, from a lot of fans.
We talked about it, Coach. Brawls, run-ins, and in-rings. That falls in that category.
Man, I know they watch our show. I know they do.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, Coach.
No. Go.
No, I'm just saying because you guys are talking about that, and it's not a plug, guys. I'm just telling you, tonight on Lunacy, 7 o'clock on YouTube, Coach, the culmination of a 5-month storyline tonight.
Whoa.
5 months, Coach. 5 months gets paid off tonight.
Whoa. Are you telling me that you remembered a storyline?
5 months.
And you're paying it off?
5 months, Coach.
That does not happen in wrestling. Stop it, Vince Russo. Stop it.
Yeah.
Can't wait. 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. He'll be in the chat every single Thursday.
Yeah.
Danable. Danable wants one of the new Juggalo t-shirts. WrestleMania 17 was so important to me. Coach, once I saw Motorhead perform Triple H's entrance, that made me go down the path of music and becoming a drummer. Vince, Misfits WCW was my intro to punk.
Bro, those dudes were great to work with, bro. I loved working with the Misfits. They were a great bunch of guys, bro. They had a lot of fun. They got it. They had no egos. It was what's it, guys? I can't think. The guy's name is escaping me now with the Misfits. Give it to me in the chat room, guys.
Mikey B can or the chat or Mikey help us know from Misfits. I have no clue what the name is. Yeah. By the way, though, Danable, I think he brings up an incredible point about life, and you never know what's going to be inspirational to you. You know, smartest Mark alive. He's not here today, but he's usually here. He started his own podcast because of this podcast. Yeah. That means the world to Vince and I. So my point is, he's a drummer, and that's his livelihood based off of an entrance at WrestleMania. That's not silly to me. That's amazing to me.
Yes, I'm with you. I agree.
They need to think about that kind of stuff, Vince.
Yeah.
They really, really do. I'm trying to think. The best musical, Glenn Danzig, Jerry Only.
Jerry Only. There you go.
Jerry Only.
Yeah, those guys were great dudes. Yeah.
Okay.
Jerry Only. Yep.
I don't read the name because I think it's a stupid name, but you are a premium member, so you are not stupid. Russo runs for office. Nice haircut, Vinny Ruru.
I get my hair, guys. I'm not getting a haircut.
It looks like it, though,
I got out of the shower. It's just wet. It's wet, bro. I didn't get a cut. Come on.
I'm starting to think that maybe you never shower before the show.
No, I'm usually up much, much earlier, so you can't tell.
We do. Just so you guys know, I live in the West. He lives in the Mountain Time Zone. We'll text at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're up. It's insanity. I've started going to bed around 8:30. God bless you. God bless you. I can't feel tired in the morning. I just can't.
Yeah.
I just can't. These people deserve way more than that.
Yeah.
Way more than that.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, somebody said in the chat room, I have become a member, can't find the watch along from Tuesday.
Well, then you've got to be at the certain level. You may have become a member at the wrong level. So you got to be the championship tier. It's the $7 tier. And then, producer man, if you don't mind, put it in the chat exactly if you're a championship tier, what they need to do. So it should be right there on the YouTube page, underneath premium only. It's right there. He says, I'm going to post on the YouTube community. Check there after the show. All right. YouTube community. Check there after the show. Varsity's back at it. I saw an interview recently where Stone Cold sold he wasn't going to be used to make the company money. That's right on brand for him, isn't it?
Yeah, but he is, though, isn't he?
No, they're going to pay him to take pictures.
But
he's going to put some in his back pocket.
Okay, I saw an interview recently where Stone Cold said he wasn't going to be used
to make the company money. Where he wants to be involved, I think he's specifically talking about in the show.
Creatively. They're not going to use him creatively in a bad light or a weak light in order to make their money.
and just be thrown in like a Gunther where, hey, we're trying to sell tickets and we have nothing for you. Because remember last year, Vince, he was on a four-wheeler, hit the barrier, hit some lady. Remember that?
Man. Yeah, that was, yes.
Remember? That was, it was not a good thing.
Yeah.
Jesse, by the way, he's got a new he's got a new racing team, Stone Cold. He just won.
A lot of sports figures get into racing teams, you know?
Yeah, Michael Jordan is dominating NASCAR right now.
Yeah.
Jesse talks the truth. We'll see your name on the wheel. I'm convinced that Vince McMahon wants WWE to be destroyed and never be as cool as it once was. Thoughts? Coach and Bro is the best pro wrestling podcast out there. Thank you, Jesse. We agree with that. I don't know that Vince wants it to be destroyed. I think he wants it back. Yeah. And I think he's pissed at how everything turned out. That's what I think.
Yeah, Coach, I just wonder, like, what is holding up this, you know, the Janelle Grant, like, what is holding all this up? Because until there is some type of a conclusion or settlement, this guy can't do anything.
Yeah. I go back to the original thing where if he would have just paid her $3 million, it all would have been over. None of this would have happened. If I'm worth $6 billion, and God, I'll never be in this position. Either way, I'll never owe somebody for an NDA, but pay the money. But this has been his problem for years and years and years. Is he used to spend millions to save $1. Yeah. He hated being sued, so he would go through the whole process. How do I know that, guys? Because I was a star witness in one of them, and I'm like, what are we doing? Pay them $800,000. He never would.
Yeah.
So I think this was more of the same, and I think now they're. Again, I don't know the details to the buyouts, but the longer it goes, the worse she looks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Publicly.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, 1001, a $20, 2 spots on the wheel. Hey, Vince, which TNA POV was Joe versus Booker T in a cage match? I think you mean it's pay-per-view. I was there and want to rewatch it. And did you walk through the crowd that night?
I wish I could tell you, man. I'm horrible with dates. I'm sure if you Google that, you should be able to find that out.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. You guys need to understand, we don't remember as much as you think we remember.
Yeah, man.
I was doing at my height, and Vince was basically the same. 52 Raws a year. Do the math here. I started the day SmackDown started, August 24th, 1999, Vince McMahon's birthday. Excuse me. So that's 52 more. That's 104. You add in 12 pay-per-views. That's now 116.
Yep.
You add in house shows, big house shows at MSG. So imagine, I was there for over 10 years. So that's over 1,000 shows that are all on TV.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to remember that? Hard Justice, 2008, by the way. TNA Hard Justice.
There you go. There you go. Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Mikey P and Producer Man always doing the work. Guillermo, maybe you'll get a Juggalo t-shirt today. Hey, Vince, is Disco Ray and JCW a rib to Glenn? LOL, he's great. Would love to see a dance-off.
No, I wish I could say he was, but he's not. Disco Ray's kind of been around for a while, so no, he's not. No.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah. Gurney 777. Triple H literally shoving himself between Lesnar and Oba is a perfect visual metaphor for this era of WWE.
Great. Absolutely. I agree with that 1,000%. Yes.
I work with a lot of big ego maniacs in my day. And I think you have to have a certain ego to be in this business. But Vince, I have coaching company, Coach and Bro, okay? Mm-hmm. And I have said as we're extending and we're making new shows and we're doing a lot of new things, the one thing I've told the whole team is not one more show with my name in it.
Yeah.
Right? And if I'm realizing that, I would never, ever put myself, but I learned from Vince. And Vince would never do it this way.
Bro, Violent J gets hot at me because when I write the shows, I don't go out in front of the people. I don't put myself, and that's what I tell him. I'm like, Joe, you've got a locker room full of wrestlers. They are the ones we have to get over. I don't need to go out there. Bro, I have this conversation with him like every other week.
My gut tells me that you need, I don't know, Vince, a GM type, somebody who could cut a promo. I don't know. I mean, somebody can step right in that has a little. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I don't even know.
Hey, Coach, you weren't there when they were doing that computer gimmick. What were you?
What computer gimmick?
Remember the computer was like the GM and stuff. Remember they went through that ridiculous phase. Oh my God.
No, I didn't from the day I left to about 2013. So 2008, 2013. I didn't watch one single second. Like nothing. Yeah. Nothing. Jeff-TH9IO. You are a premium member. Make sure it's a championship tier for the Watchalongs. Hey, fellas, love your show and everything you do for your fans, putting us first. You're damn right we do. Question for both. Did either of you ever see Triple H and Rock ever come close to throwing hands for real backstage? Great question. Great question. The answer for me is no. Where I saw the venom is, how do you put this, Vince? They were such big stars, both of them. I'm never going to discount how big of a star Triple H was, because he was and he is. But when Rock started going to Hollywood and Triple H could not get these roles, that's when I think things really started, the jealousy for real. And then you have Rock, and then a few years later, Cena. And then I do think, Vince, that the Batista was the tipping point. When Batista started getting these gigantic roles, and he was the underling to Triple H for a long time in Evolution. Triple H ran that faction. Batista was the muscle. He certainly wasn't the star of it.
Yeah.
That had to piss Triple H off to some effect.
Yeah.
To some effect.
I just always wonder, and guys, I just have to tell you this, because I want to make it clear to everybody, because when Coach talked earlier about Triple H's parents, bro, the Triple H I worked for or worked with pre-Stephanie was a sweetheart of a guy. And
absolutely.
And that comes from the upbringing. So when Coach tells me about the parents, I get it. Bro, this was a sweetheart of a guy. No question about it. But, again, Coach, it's funny because you talk about, The Rock and then Cena, and then you talk about Batista, and that didn't pan out for Triple H. But I don't know if Stephanie was the one who I would have a feeling, and guys, this is all speculation. I would have a feeling that Stephanie was the one that, what word am I looking for, Coach? Not ignited, but started, maybe
pushed.
Not pushed, but I would think she was the one who maybe started with the flirtation, that type of a thing. I don't think that would have ever come from Triple H for two reasons. Number one, he was with China, and Triple H and China was solid. Number two, it was the boss's daughter, bro. It was. And guys, I'm telling you, no one would go near the boss's daughter. Instigate's the word I'm looking for. So I would have to assume that she instigated the relationship. And that, Coach, that was his Hollywood. That right there was his Hollywood. Because think about this, Coach. I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know the answer to this question. If Triple H would have never became Mr. Stephanie McMahon, where would he be right now in the scheme of things, in the scheme of things with the WWE? Where would he be right now?
That is a phenomenal question. And I will say this, that on many occasions, this topic came up. And how could it not? When the rumblings were started, when the stories were started, you kind of see it. You talk about the flirtation. And we always said you can only go one of two ways. So it's funny you asked me that question that way, because we always talked about, a lot of people said, listen, you could be rich beyond your wildest imagination, but if it doesn't work out, you're looking for another job and another career, because there's no way that Vince is going to keep that whoever that guy was around. And it happened with China. China had a deal on the table, hadn't signed it. She gets in a fight with Stephanie. Who's going to go? China went without the deal, without the money. And so now you ask me, where would he be? I think he'd still be involved. I don't know if he'd be running it, but I know that the day he walked in a three-piece suit to the production meeting, we all looked over, and I swear to God, Vince, you heard somebody go, holy shit. Like, I don't know who it was, but you heard somebody say it because he went from the jeans and the jean jacket and one of the boys to three-piece suit tie, just like Vince. And he sat at the front table, too. And that's when the whole thing shifted. Yeah. And he literally told the world backstage, our world, that I don't give a damn about all of you. I don't care about being one of you. I care about this.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's moved that way ever since.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I think he would still be in wrestling. I really, really do. Because wrestling, I think, at his core is what he's always wanted to do. But I think there's a lot of him that is irritated that he never made it in.
And when you talk about wrestling at his core, that's what he knows. Okay, guys, just because you're a great wrestler, a student of the game, does not make you a businessman, does not make you a writer, does not make you a producer. Bro, I honestly think best case scenario, and it would have been the best thing for him, and he would have been great at it. Best case scenario, Triple H is the Pat Patterson of 2026. But running the things that he runs, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I think that's the cause of a lot of the issues we're seeing.
And I think also if Vince was still involved, Vince did not hesitate to make a change. We've been saying all along, everybody takes it on the chin right now, except for creative. Road Dogg was the first one to get axed because of ratings. And a lot of times you got to blame somebody. Vince, in every business, you have to blame somebody when it fails. Or I shouldn't say that. There's a reason why it fails. Mm-hmm. And in wrestling, there's a very clear connection between great storylines, great characters, ratings, and fans.
Yeah.
It's a direct correlation.
Absolutely.
So if this was the case, would Vince keep him in that spot just because? I don't believe he would.
But he did Stephanie.
Well, he did say at one point she had too much responsibility too.
Yeah.
That
guys, I got to tell you, man, that's where the company made a huge error. Like me and Ed left when he put Stephanie in charge of creative. I think that was the worst decision Vince ever made and maybe the beginning of the end because, Coach, no matter how good or bad she was, this was still his daughter. He couldn't just fire her without leaving egg on her face, on his face. So he had to keep going with it. And guys, if you look back at history, that's really when you started seeing a deterioration in creative. It really is. Why? She didn't have a creative background. Just like Triple H. Guys, I went to school. That was my college.
As did I. Yes.
They don't have a background in this. And I really think creatively, if you go back to that point in time, that's when it really started to digress.
I don't believe, and maybe Vince is an outlier in this, I don't believe that you can write great storylines week in and week out for multiple shows if you're trying to also be a big-time talent.
No way.
Right?
No.
It's not possible.
No way, Coach.
Not possible.
No way.
The amount of hours, guys, think about TV shows. TV shows, a normal season is 22 to 24 episodes. They do 11 or 12 in the fall, 11 or 12 in the spring. And your favorite shows, you look forward to that. Yep. Do you know how many writers they have for these big Hollywood shows, guys? It's a whole room. It's a whole room. Why? Because it's really hard to do.
Yeah.
So to ask 8 people to do it, and you're going to film videos, Vince, for video game covers, for commercials. On the top, I'll never forget when they changed the WrestleMania from New Orleans to Vegas, and they did that shoot on top of the stadium.
Yeah. With
the drone. I'm like, why is he doing this?
Yeah.
Where's Cody? Yeah. Where's Roman? Like that. I mean, that's where, to me, right now, there is a gigantic disconnect between him, and until he admits it, it's going to continue to get worse.
Coach, I have to tell you, like, honest to God, man, I hated being an on-screen character. And here's the reason why I hated it. It was taken away from my other duties.
That you loved.
No doubt it was taken away from my writing and my producing. It was taken away from that. And I knew it. And that's why, like, I hated being an on-air character, because I knew these other areas were suffering.
100%. 100%. All right, Daniel Turner, you got a spot on the wheel today. Hey, Coach, I saw your post on X about agreeing with Maven's new YouTube video. I thought his video was spot on and don't understand the hate with it. It's so funny because Maven's one of my favorite human beings ever. And it doesn't bother me, but I'm done dealing with the bullshit on X. What I mean, Vince, is people were like, what's he ever done? He hasn't done anything since 2004. I'm like, all he said, Vince, was basically about house shows, the lack of, it's hurting the product, it's hurting people not getting hurt, all that kind of stuff. He was dead on. And that's another thing that wrestling people like us know. And this is where, and you want to keep doing it, Triple H as the leader, Vince. I know he's head of creative, but he's really the leader with him and Nick Khan of WWE. It's not Ari, it's not Mark Shapiro, it's those two guys. So if you know house shows help, you got to go and fight for them. Yeah. Cody Rhodes is on a podcast. Guys, we need more house shows. It'd be like playing a football game once a month without training camp.
God. Bro, did you see that Io Sky spot?
Oh, my God. We didn't even talk about that.
How did she not break her neck? Like, it's a miracle.
A miracle.
Oh, my God. But the reason why I bring that up, guys, is they're doing stuff like that like once a week. Like, you know, and I saw that spot and I'm like, what are we doing here, man?
It's going... And this is where we try to educate you guys, is in that Rock Hogan match, there wasn't one spot like that. Vince showed his brilliance about 30 seconds before what looked like was going to be a table spot. He's like, Coach, they're never going to do a table spot in this match. And they cleared off the table. What'd they do? Nope. They went right back because they didn't need it.
Yep.
There is a laziness that goes along right now with all of these details that you guys don't know about at home. It's a laziness.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Bro, I would say the most dangerous spot they did in that match was probably when Rock threw Hulk over the top rope. That was probably the most dangerous thing they did.
That was it. That was it,
bro.
That was it.
Yeah.
There's oh my God. I feel like they need to throw everything into a bucket, toss it out the window, including I never call for people to get fired. But guess what? Everybody else has taken it on the chin more than once. If you have a career in this business for 40 years, you're going to take it on the chin a couple of times.
Yep,
right?
Absolutely. Yep.
So this nonsense of nobody is getting punished or, hey, you're not a very good writer, so you have to go.
Yeah.
That needs to start happening. Or stop hiring 22,000 writing interns making $22,000 a year on a 3-month trial. Stop doing that.
Hey, Coach, the first baseman that Chapman told to catch the effing ball.
Yeah.
I buried him on X yesterday. Buried that first baseman on X, Coach.
You're crazy. You're crazy. But I like it. Crazy like a fox. All right, WN Perspective. I said from the moment that he started gaining influence backstage that Triple H should not be in any creative oversight role. I'll always be a fan of his in-ring work and not his creative vision on TV. This is a great one, Vince. A great one. I didn't mind seeing him on Monday Night Raw. I've been saying for a while, if that's what you want to do, Vince, then do that. But then don't sit there at 11 a.m. for 8 hours and then go through all the pre-tapes and all the rehearsals and all of that. Would you have an issue, Vince? Or let me ask you this. Saying he has to be involved, which one, if he had to choose, do you think he would be the best in?
Between what now?
Between head of creative or just the talent on the show?
Not head of creative. WMP, here's, let me correct this. I've said from the moment that he started gaining influence backstage, no former wrestler should be involved in creative. No, none of them, guys, because they've been trained for years and years and years and years. Me, myself, and I. They know how to get themselves over. They don't know how to translate that into getting other people over. This isn't a Triple H thing. This is a former wrestler in creative. That is the issue. And especially head of creative. That's the biggest issue right there.
By the way, is this my brother? Is WMP like my brother? Look at that picture.
Yeah, he might be.
He looks a lot like good-looking guy there, WMP.
Yeah,
good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Vince, there's never been a wrestler that's ever been born that ever got to this level that didn't want to get themselves over.
Never.
Doesn't exist.
That's
doesn't
instilled in them, guys, for decades and decades and decades.
That's right. Traffic jam. Good morning, Coach and Vince. Off the top, what are your thoughts on Wemby from the San Antonio Spurs? The real deal. Go JCW. I don't know how much you follow the NBA, Vince. Obviously, I do. This dude is an absolute unicorn. He is the most freakishly incredible basketball player that God has ever invented. 7'5". He scored 41 and 18 last night. He had the third fastest double-double 4 nights ago. He could be the MVP in his second season coming over from France or Italy. I think it's France. This dude, but he's 7'5", Vince, and he can dribble like a point guard. He is a star. It's incredible.
Better than the Joker?
He's going to be better than the Joker.
Wow.
Yes, he's going to be better than he's much more athletic. More athletic.
I do wonder, Coach, and you'll know this because, sports is your life. Bro, the taller you are you more, injury prone? The taller you are, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking of. When you say 6'5", what I'm thinking of is, bro, there's a lot to get hurt there.
Correct. 7'5". 7'5".
Yeah, 7'5".
So imagine all the wrestlers you've seen over the years that are you won't see them from age 40 and then 20 years later. Big Show is running into this situation. The knees.
Yeah,
absolutely are cooked. Almost every NBA player I worked with at ESPN was, they were retired. They could barely walk. They would walk with a limp. It was awful because their knees, normally you have to have knee replacement surgery, hips, the whole deal. So as great as it is, and Vince, they have this new thing called the Supermax deal in the NBA, and you got to be there for like 5 years, but he's going to get it. And right now, if you get a Supermax today, it's around $65 million per year.
Oh my God, bro!
Because they want stars to stay with their original teams.
Yeah.
So when Luka got traded,
I love that concept.
Love it. So when Luka got traded last year, he was pissed. Everybody thought because he just bought a $15 million home in Dallas.
Yeah,
that wasn't it. The clock starts over on the Supermax deal.
Oh, wow. And he was right there at the end of it.
Right there.
Oh,
he was right there. Yeah. So I'd be pissed too.
Yeah. I gotta make a big announcement with you.
Oh, good. Breaking news.
Right here. I'm 65 years old. So, Coach, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know I'm closer to the end from the beginning, without a shadow of a doubt. So, I'm in the mode now where there are things that I really want to do. And I need to do while I am still on this earth. Okay.
What is one of those?
Coach, got on the computer the other day. Did my research. Made a couple of phone calls.
To who?
Coach, after a 25-year absence.
Oh, no. No.
I am getting back on the ball field.
What?
Yes.
Back on the ball field?
Back on the ball field, bro. Yes.
Wow. They have a 65 and over softball league?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Is it or is it not true that there has to be an ambulance standing by at all times?
Trust me, Coach. Trust me. But I have not played ball in 25 years. It was a huge part of my life. And I'm like, you know what? I'm getting back on the ball field, Coach.
Me and the kids drove by. We have a great facility here in Southern California. And anybody that hears me that understands this, do you remember, like when I drive by a ball field and I see the lights on, my mind instantly goes back to playing. Remember when you got to play under the lights for the first time?
Oh God.
You know, like either you were American Legion or it was a big Little League game.
Yeah.
And the feeling that goes through my body is just, I can't even describe it.
I know.
And then you play softball and you're there and you're drinking beer after the game.
Well, Coach, you know about my dad, right?
What about him?
Bro, my dad's 95 and still plays softball 2 times a week.
Stop it.
Swear to God. And he could, bro, if he stopped playing softball, he'd die tomorrow. He lives for softball at 95. So I'm thinking, bro, I'm 65. I can't get back on a field for crying out loud.
You could do it.
I could
do it.
I could do it.
By the way,
yes.
I've told you my motorcycle WWE softball story, haven't I?
No.
Oh my God. Man, this is and I'll make it quick because I know everybody, we've been here for a while, but this is an amazing story. So we had Tommy Carlucci was our manager. We had a great team. It was called the Industrial League. So it was like WWE, fire department.
I played in that league when I was there.
Okay, so you know.
Tommy pitched.
Yes, Tommy pitched. Yes,
Fink managed the team. Fink managed it.
Yeah, we changed that. He just was our third base coach. Okay. We took that responsibility away from the Fink. Yeah, but he was so funny. We'd score a run and be over there going, yeah. Oh, I love the Fink. Yeah. So one night we played the 6 o'clock game, and by the grace of God, the 7 o'clock game was the fire department against the police department. And we were the two fields were in a neighborhood, and there was right across the street was a little pizza place, a neighborhood pizza place. So the street goes along the edge of the field. So we're having a couple pops sitting there. All of a sudden you hear ring, 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 ring. 2 pocket rocket motorcycles come flying down, but because there's cars parked all along the road, you can't see them.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you hear, and you look over, and one of the motorcycles is rammed right into a BMW that was parked. The only reason the BMW was there to stop to get a pizza at the pizza joint across the street, and he had gotten the BMW 3 days earlier. So as you look over, Vince, I shit you not, you see the dude flying in the air at least 30 to 40 feet in front of all of the parked cars. So there was a second guy, did not wreck. So I'm literally, Vince, and ask Tommy about this. I'm the first one there. The only way to describe it is, remember the last scene from Naked Gun when O.J. Simpson fell over and he got ran over and like one leg was going that way and one arm was going that way and one leg.
Coach, okay.
Vince, so his one leg was completely out of socket.
Oh.
Okay? So I told you, by the grace of God, the fire department was playing on the field.
Oh, God.
So didn't have to wait for an ambulance. So they come running over, and they're working on him. So he's completely knocked out. All of a sudden, he comes to, and he kind of leans up, and you see him look down, and all of a sudden, the pain kicks in. And it's the most horrendous scream you've ever heard. So everybody's facing there, and all of a sudden, you hear from behind us, UMFer. And the driver of the BMW had come out of the pizza joint, starts complaining about his car because, Vince, the motorcycle was literally stuck into the back of the car.
Oh, my God, bro.
So he's in a fist fight now with the second rider, the guy's buddy.
Oh, my.
And the guy says, my buddy's dying over here, and you're worried about your car? Oh, that was a quote, by the way.
Oh, my.
So we have to pull them apart. And long story short, he ended up losing his right leg.
Oh,
he did live. He did live, but had to be amputated. It was crazy. Crazy. Ask Tommy about it. God, I'm a great storyteller, too. I forget how good I am. RIH, Coach, you inspire me. VR, what do you find difficult, limiting, or frustrating about writing for JCW as opposed to other shows you've written? Great question.
So what do I find? What now?
What do you find difficult, limiting, or frustrating?
Oh, that's an easy question, Rob, because a lot of people don't understand that. I'm dealing with indie wrestlers. These people are not under contract. So there are some dates that they can't make. So if I've got a storyline going, Coach, and all of a sudden Luigi Primo cannot make a couple of dates, I got to get very creative. So that's why a lot of people will watch JCW and like they don't understand that. These guys are not under contract. They're working for other companies. That's the most challenging part.
But who knows? Maybe someday. The great part about JCW is that there's so much to be done.
Oh God, yeah.
There's more work to be done than you have time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's exciting because that doesn't happen very often.
Absolutely not.
Right?
Absolutely.
I feel really good about I feel really good about what you guys are doing from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
Nick LaRosa, Wheel. Looking forward to JCW tonight. Thank goodness for them. The storylines and characters are what makes me watch. Why can't WWE have writers to write storylines like the way it used to be, Vince?
I'm always going to give them the benefit of the doubt, Coach, and we've talked about this a million times. Because of all the masters they're serving, there just isn't enough hours in the day for them to write creative TV. They're writing content. They're writing material that's going to eat television time. That's all they're doing, man.
Speaking of eating, we've got a couple things left to get to. Ken Ipshian, Coach, wondering if you have any Thea Mama Benjamin stories. Thanks. No, I'll tell you what. She was not so I don't know if you know who Mama Benjamin is, Vince.
I have a little idea.
They hired this, she was in a lot of bigger shows, but they hired this big black woman to be Shelton Benjamin's mother.
Okay.
And so you guys got to understand, she was a Hollywood actress. So when they brought her in, she had no clue what was going on. So she treated it like a set. She treated it like it was a set on a Hollywood show.
That was probably funny.
Oh my God. She would sit, wait, where's my trailer? Where's my dresser? She never wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Nice lady, but it was a job for her and nothing more.
Yeah.
B. Ryder, last spot on the wheel. Hey, Coach of Vinny Roop, why do you think Vince McMahon was mentioned on Raw? Also, new member here. How do I find the watch-alongs? Should have it in the chat. They're right on our YouTube page, guys. If you just go to the YouTube page, you're watching on it right now, go down to Premium. Once you become a member, you can click on any of those. They'll just come right up. They'll come right up. It's very simple. Vince, why do you think they decided to mention Vince on Monday Night Raw?
I don't know. I don't know, Coach. What's your theory on that?
I think that we're at the end of the road of, at some point in life, you can't be stuck on something. You can't be like, we're never talking about this, whether it's like the Chris Benoit situation or whether it's Vince situation. At some point, you've got to move on. And I think that to not include him in documentaries, interviews, whatever it is, at this point, it's been years and years and years. Yeah. So I just think that it was a good way to have a good promo, and they don't have we can't mention him anymore. I think that's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. All right. So we got two things left to do. Vince, so we've been talking a lot about the 10,000 for the bus and the pasta. So we put it out there. Oh, sweet, GTO. Doing your taxes. Don't scare me. Listen to Coach and Bro. So apparently Double D wanted to put it out there and advertise that he will also do make a pasta with a member of the BTT studios, and very
nice. You're burning the water, bro.
The Coach and Bro VIP experience, and Vince is letting him have it. Let him have it.
Yeah, the only thing I really don't like about that is you're doing him a favor with his hair. He wishes his hair looked that good right there, Coach. Come on. Oh, my God.
What about this?
Oh,
what about this?
Juggalo Dan, man.
Danhausen meets JCW. Yeah. I think Double D wants in the worst way to be a part of JCW. I really do.
We'll see if he behaves himself, maybe.
All right. I'm done with the super stickers. Any more that come in now, we will read them on Monday. but I believe that the Coach and Brolette wheel is set. So, producer man, when you have the chance to throw it up on the screen, I think this is going to be a big one, Vince. I think this is going to be a big one. I really do. Oh, my God.
Oh, I knew.
Oh, my God.
I knew it was. I mean, the amount of ones you were reading, I knew it was going to be huge.
I feel like we need to do too.
Hey, I want to address somebody real quick in the chat room. Calb, K-A-L-B says, Vince, hire Ryback. Bro, I recently had a discussion with Ryback. Bro, he's physically messed up. His shoulder. Ryback's. I would be shocked if Ryback ever wrestles again. His shoulder is in really, really, really bad shape. I just want to address that.
That's too bad. That's too bad.
Yeah.
All right. So I talked to the man in charge. Just talked to him. We're gonna do 2. He said yes, we can do 2. Yeah. I mean, we got to give it back, Vince. We got it. We have to,
and that's fair, bro, because that's a lot of names.
That's a lot of names. That's a lot of super stickers. You guys are amazing. Every week we grow. We grow. Somebody's talking to somebody, and we've had during this show, Vince, over 30 people sign up to be premium members.
That's awesome, man.
Awesome. You guys, you're gonna love the watch-alongs, also the PLEs. So we're gonna give you as much as we have time to give you. As much as we have time to give you. All right, so we're gonna do 2 spins. So Vince, the floor is yours.
All right, here we go. Producer man, spin the wheel.
Let's go.
God, I need a magnifying glass.
I know, exactly. Oh, the Juggalos t-shirts are flying.
Guillermo. Yes.
He's also a brand new member.
Yeah,
he's a new premium member. So great for you.
And he's a veteran of the show.
So, Guillermo, I need you to email our producer man, and he will connect with you and ask anybody in the chat. We get it right out to you. Just send me a picture. That's all I want. Nobody ever sends me a picture, Vince.
We like the pictures, guys.
Yeah, love the pictures. Yeah. All right, because you guys are so generous, we're going to do it a second time. Vince, let's go.
Producer man, spin the wheel.
Let's go. Let's go. Who's going to win the second? Any T-shirt you want from the merch store. I like the Petty Machete. I like the Kiss on Mountain. I like the Fugazi.
Oh. He has won like 5 times, no?
Hey. We don't play favorites, Vince.
No, we don't, but man, he's got luck on his side, man. Smart as Mark, bro.
He's going to have the entire merch store in his
catalog.
closet.
He's going to have the whole catalog, man. That's awesome, bro.
I think that there's like 35 different choices. There's a lot on that.
Yeah.
A lot on that. By the way, if you guys want to have your own merch, right now, if you use the code MADNESS, you get 16% off everything at the store. Madness, 16% off everything at the store, because we want to play a little tribute to the NCAA tournament and the Sweet 16 and all kinds of that. All right, real quick, and this, I promise, last one. At the end of the Women's Rumble, Michael Cole repeatedly said the winner would main event one of the nights, but they aren't. Why even have a Royal Rumble then? He misspoke. It's never a main event. It's they get to challenge one of the world champions, but the women never main event, ever. I mean, they could, but it's not a guaranteed spot. So he misspoke. All right, Vince, before we get out of here, tell the good people.
Guys, big blow off tonight. Yeah, man, you want to see a story pay off? I believe Nick Nemeth is on tonight's show. I believe Mr. Anderson is on tonight's show. Huge finish, bro. 7 o'clock Eastern, JCW Lunacy on YouTube. Check it out, man.
And what another incredible show, incredible Thursday. We absolutely love doing it. You guys, you're making this, and I don't think it's overhyped, one of the most popular wrestling shows in the country, in the world, because we have a ton of fun doing it. So spread the word. Tell all your friends. We want as many members here, as many premium members to enjoy the watch-alongs, to share our history with all of you. And Tuesday was amazing. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Hogan, Rock. We fixed all the little glitches too.
Yeah.
So we got those ready to go. All right, Vince. Good luck tonight on JCW. By the way, Barnabas, I gave you your 15 seconds of fame last night.
Wow.
That's it.
Fighting
your boy. Talk to Barnabas. Because when
when
I show up, not if, when I show up, I'm coming after him first.
He's got
coming after him
he's
for
got zombies behind him though.
I don't care.
You don't
I don't
care
care.
about you don't care about the zombies.
I will verbally destroy all three of them at once. All right, that's going to do it for us. For Dirt Sheet Dan, for Mikey P, for Producer Man, who's just the most amazing job you guys could ever imagine, the best partner ever, and my man Vince Russo. I am simply the coach. We'll see you back here Monday, our normal Monday time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Until then, this has been the Coach and Bro Show. Take care.